Germans are known for their love of small talk and informal conversations, especially in professional settings. True or false?
False.
Germany has more than 3,000 varieties of bread, making it one of the countries with the most diverse bread culture. True or false?
It's truth.
Punctuality is considered a core value in German culture. True or false?
It's true.
Hi, and welcome to ASHA Global Voices Podcast. My name is Tjasa Strle, and I'm a cross-cultural leadership coach and the creator of ASHA Global Voice. Together with my guests, we are sharing stories from around the world about different cultures, leadership, and human experiences that connect us. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button. Your support means the world to me. And now, let's dive into today's episode. Hi, and welcome to the ASHA Global Voices Podcast. Today, I am excited to welcome Professor Dr. Jörg Hruby from Germany. He has extensive experience as a business consultant and has taught at various renowned universities in Europe and Latin America. Now based in Mexico City, he is a full professor of global leadership and a global visiting professor at a leading business school in Latin America. His global perspective is further enriched by living in 4 countries and collaborating with numerous universities worldwide, making him a strong advocate for international business education and leadership development. Jörg, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
If we first go through the true and false statements, I'm very curious. You said that the first one, which is Germans are known for their love of small talk and informal conversations, especially in professional settings, it's false. Can you just say a little bit more about it?
Yeah, the point is that Germans are mostly very focused on business. So they just like say hello and how they arrive to the meeting. And small talk is not very relevant because it's also like an issue that you are at work, you talk about work-related issues. You make a lunch break, you talk about work. When you go home, then you meet your friends and you do small talk, but not with your colleagues. With the colleagues, it's just like 1 or 2 sentences, just like how the weather is, about perhaps how was the winter break, and that's it. And then it's just like starting directly on the topic. So usually people have an agenda before, so you know what the talk is about. So you have a clear timeline. And when somebody is talking about issues not related to the topics, they will be cut off, and then the next point on the agenda will be discussed. So small talk is just like 1 minute or 2 minutes, and that's it. No? So even when colleagues come back from vacation, they just ask you, how was the vacation? I was in Italy, I was skiing. It was fun. We had a good lunch and we had good food. And then, okay, yeah, let's start to talk about what we have on our agenda today. So it's just like very reduced to 1 minute. So when you, on the other side, when you go to Brazil or even in Mexico, it is very impolite to do this because it doesn't show interest in the person. And at the end, it's like a no-go here. And in Germany, it's a no-go to talk too much about family or private issues.
Okay, so Germans, we could say, are really focused on business and yeah. But
when it is related to work. No? So when you meet outside, the people are open to talk, but usually you don't meet with colleagues. Colleagues are not your friends. Colleagues are colleagues. And this is not going to be mixed up. So it's like a no-go, and even also to make business with your friends. No? So I can tell you in Brazil, it's very common that you are friends, and also that you share like, I have something to offer you. And you even make business inside your friends. But this is a no-go in Germany. You split work and your friendship because you don't want to harm the friendship of any kind of business issues.
And for you as a German, was it difficult to kind of transition with your mindset? Now you're in Mexico to start small talk and then talk about personal lives as well with your business colleagues.
Yeah, for sure. Every day we talk about specific things. No, I know if people take here sleeping pills, or if people here have problems with their kids, and everything is going to be very openly discussed. So in Germany, you would say, please refer these topics to a psychologist, but I don't have the time to listen to this. But here you get a lot of personal information where you would say in Germany is a no-go. No? So you're not share any emotional parts or any problems in the family. So this is not good to do, because on the other side, they see that you have some weakness and it's not good to show it. No? I mean, it is here is like more social. You don't need a psychologist because you speak in the work about that. I'm just kidding, but this is something like you could say. But in Germany, there's a lot of pressure at work. And so it is like you need to hide yourself when you're not feeling well. You cannot speak openly. Perhaps even somebody then would say to the boss, he's not okay currently. He's not performing well. So you also need to be careful about that, because at the end, it is something they have in your hand against you. So, but here is quite common. Also in Brazil is very common. That people speak about their mood in the beginning, like 5 or 10 minutes, how they feel. And then they start about what is on the task, what are they doing. So it's a little bit different. Open your box about how it is, how you are, and how you feel. And feelings are very important to share.
And now that you have both perspectives, so the German one and the Latin American one, which one would you say is better or you prefer now?
I mean, when you compare cultures, you cannot say something is better. You can say what is more related to your perspective. In my perspective, I like more the Latin American style. I think in Germany, you sometimes feel lonely in some parts because you cannot share anything. I mean, you must share it with your friends, perhaps everywhere. But here it's just like, I mean, for sure, you're not opening up too much, perhaps even. But just like to say that it is good to talk about the issues. I mean, for sure, you also have your friends. But at the end, I mean, I think it depends on the personality, what you want. So I think for my person, it's Latin American focus is great. My wife is from Brazil and I know it. And I know it also what's going on there in this world. So, I mean, it's only going to be difficult when you have intercultural teams. No? So when you have Mexicans and Germans together, the Germans would not understand that in the beginning. And also the Mexican don't understand that the Germans are so straight. No? I mean, perhaps they get to know it from some news, but when you experience this, is completely different. Huh? So the way, even as a professor, the way you speak with students is also you need to be more interested in the people. Huh? So, and I like it more than just like being only focused on the work and all other things are not relevant.
Okay. And if we move now to the second statement, which is that Germany has more than 3,000 varieties of bread, making it one of the countries with the most diverse bread culture. This is like a huge number. It's an interesting fact. Yeah.
So I was in Germany 2 weeks ago and I have eaten every day fresh bread. And this I did because I didn't get this good bread here. You just get white bread, not very healthy on the long run. And I also will reduce this here in Mexico. But the variety is like phenomenal. I mean, I think that also in Austria, my experience also is from Austria. I lived 7 years there. They are also very good bread. But at the end, it's just like the variety is there because of history. But I have actually heard that the first bread comes from Turkey. So when you fly Turkish Airlines, you can see right now a commercial and advertisement that the first bread was invented in Turkey. But anyhow, German has a strong history. But to be honest, this changed a bit because of electricity prices the last years, that a lot of bakeries get bankrupt. And it is part of our culture, part of our history. And this is also not good. Currently, you have like providers that have 20, 30 breads, but not more. And this is also not good for the culture. No? So, but many people, even older people, they prefer to go at the weekend on Saturday to buy fresh bread. You must know that the German shopping behavior is different, perhaps even to other countries. So you go every 2 or 3 days and then you buy a fresh bread. So you don't buy a bread and then just not starting to eat it. But it's like the consumer behavior is you go every 2 to 3 days to a supermarket and you buy only what you can carry. So you go by bicycle, you go by walking, and that's it. No? So in Mexico, it's completely different. Here you get slices of bread, like 50 slices. And when you are a single person or a couple, you would say, when should I eat it? So the package sizes are much bigger here. I mean, it's Mexico, families are bigger. And so this will not work in Germany. You know? So for sure, Germans also like to buy some toast bread, but at the end, it's something like you need to eat it in the next 7 to 10 days. So they like more fresh bread. And not like, I mean, people are very critical when they go abroad, like to Spain or to Greece, and said everyday white bread. So people, Germans, start to complain after a couple of days. And I also, to be honest, I also have a Swiss bakery here. There are German bakeries in Mexico City. And when I have the chance, I also go there and buy. So, I mean, this is like being at home, but in a different country.
To be honest, fresh bread is the best. We also have fresh bread here in Slovenia, but a lot less varieties than in Germany.
Yeah.
Tell me about the third one. Punctuality is considered a core value in German culture. You said that this one is true.
What was the first? I don't remember.
Punctuality. Punctuality is considered a...
Punctuality. I mean, punctuality is a matter of respect. Like in the German culture, it is like people are 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the appointment there. Punctuality is a value, one of the top 5 values, but it also is a value that makes stress because people plan the whole day like hourly. And when they have a meeting, like at work, and then they need to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, in 2 minutes starts my next meeting. I need to go out to be on time in the next meeting." So a lot of people with kids, they plan their whole day on even minutely to say, "Oh, I need to go there. I need to go there. Half an hour later, I need to be there." And when there comes traffic or when there comes some coincidences, it makes a huge stress because people people are used to it. Respect is like, I can give you an example. I have my friends since nearly 30 years, a little bit less, 20, 25, 26 years from the university. And when I come too late in a meeting, like 10 minutes too late, they go and they will not speak with me 2 weeks. And I know them for many, many years. No? So in Mexico, punctuality is not at all relevant. It's like in the business world, it's relevant, and it also shows respect by the people. But in the free time, in the leisure time, the people come 2 or 3 hours too late. So you have a birthday party. You said, please come at 6 o'clock. The people come at 8 or 9. So in Germany, you would be very upset, and you would say, "What's going on here?" And I would like to quit my own birthday party because of these issues. But in other countries, it's like not valued. It's not a value like in Germany. So I give you an example. I was at the university, and I remember it very well that we had a law lecture. So we needed to change the campus. And in this case, you had only 30 minutes to go from one campus to the other one. And the law professor, perhaps even he didn't know or he didn't care, but he put a wood under the door that you cannot open up the door. And he did it on time. And in the room were 30 people. And after half an hour, he opened and 200 people entered the room. 200 people were, in his mind, too late. And so this is how they treat you to be on time. So another thing is like when my grandma did some lunch or some dinner or whatever, and I arrived there and I was even on time. She said, "Jörg, you're too late." I said, "What? We agreed on 12 o'clock and now it's 12 o'clock. Yeah, the lunch is already finished since 10 minutes. I said, "Why did you finish when we agreed on 12 o'clock? So always you are not on time. So people tell you, and you are on time." And this is so deeply inside. I give you another example from the school environment. So one was university environment. Now I'll give you an example of the school environment. In the school, the class starts at 8:00 and 5 minutes. Then the people are in the classroom, the kids. And when you arrive at 8:06, 8:07, the teacher has a school book and said 1 minute too late, 2 minutes too late. When this happens 2 times in 5 days, they will call your parents why your kid is too late to school. So they will have an appointment. They will invite your parents to go and say, "Why is your kid too late?" Even if it is 1 or 2 minutes. So this is the experience of punctuality in Germany. So it's very relevant, and people complain right now a little bit about the trains are too late, like 3 or 4 hours too late on average in Germany. And this is a no-go, and we need a new management board. In every classroom, in every train station is a clock. Everywhere you see a clock in the classroom, and you see exactly how it is organized. So the whole country is full of watches or clocks. When I'm in Latin America, when I'm in Sao Paulo, when I'm in Rio, when I'm in Bogota, when I'm in Mexico City, I look for clocks, for watches. If I won't have my smartphone, I would say, "What time is it and when is my flight going?" So the point is that in this case is like I'm double checking. I give you one example of Mexico. We had a conference last year, and it was in the city of Guadalajara. So they said the bus goes from here to the airport to bring you back to your university at 12:30. So I was at 12:30 in the bus, and nobody else was there. So I was even 10 minutes before in the bus. I said, okay, 12:30, so be on time. And then I said, I was calling, hey, where are all the people? 12:30, they said the bus is going. And then they said, they are still in the lobby. And I said, but why? 12:30. Yeah, they didn't know where the bus is. I said, the bus goes every day since 3 days from this station. Where are the people? At the end, the bus went at 1:00 because they know that Mexicans are too late. But they said 12:30, and I was listening to it. And so they gave the people half an hour because they know that Mexicans are too late. But I was timely focused, but this I didn't know. So I also learned here that here are different strategies. But when you say 12:30, the bus goes at 12:30 in Germany. It goes, and it doesn't matter if there are 10 people too late, the bus goes. And this is like punctuality, and there is no compromise and nothing else. No? So you can see that the way the people talk in Mexico, time related, and the way the Germans are very precise. But punctuality, I can tell you one thing, in Switzerland is even more. So, I mean, the Swiss have the watches, whatever. This has a reason, and they are even more on time than the Germans. No, they might not perhaps be 10 minutes before, perhaps 15 minutes before. But in Switzerland is also, and Germany, it's very relevant to be on time because it shows respect. It shows appreciation. When you are not on time, and like I did it today with you, that I said, I don't know if I will be on time, you communicate. You said it will be a couple of minutes late or whatever. No. So this is a way of that people say it's okay. One thing is where the Germans are flexible. And this is usually, and not like the law professor, but at the university, we say we have an academic 15 minutes. So this is like the German flexibility is when you are a student in Germany or in the academic environment, it's okay to be 15 minutes late, not more, not half an hour, but 15 minutes because people might be busy or sometimes they forget. And, creative people in the university environment a little bit like differently, but this is like what is accepted, but nowhere else is accepted you are not on time.
This is the same in Slovenia. We say academic 15. But yeah, great and so interesting insights. Thank you for sharing them. So now we know that when we work with Germans, we have to be at least 10 minutes before the time, right? In order to make a good impression.
Or you communicate, you say, I'm sorry, there was an issue, we will be 5 minutes late. And this is totally okay. But when you're not communicating, when you have the email or when you have the phone number, so make a call, just tell them 5 or 10 minutes late. And this is totally okay. When you're not communicating, this is not good for the Germans because they start with their mind, we have an important meeting. They are too late. Why are they doing it? Are they not interested in the product? So people start to run. And the point is that when you go to Mexico, you can say, hey, I'm not in a German environment here. And you need to reprogram yourself. So, and this is something like also for me, sometimes in some parts, very difficult. So when you see how fast moving it is in the supermarket in Germany or in different discounters, and then you are in Mexico or in Brazil and you wait here 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It's just like, what are you doing with your time? So the point is the pressure is inside you. The punctuality is inside you. And the matter is on getting aware of it and to say, I'm in a complete different cultural context. And this is something I always need to experiment myself. So to say, it's okay and be patient or observe the people or it's good to do nothing. So the German environment is like stressy and always on optimizing and efficiency. And in some countries, it's not like that. And then you think, what's going on here? Or the meeting starts later. And why did they tell me 8:00 when they're not coming? Or why do they say we have a meeting and they do not even come to the meeting? I have everything experienced here. And this is something like, for sure, you observe your own emotions, they come up. the disrespect, because what they learned here in Germany, but you need to be taking the eagle eye perspective. No, you need to say people do not always walk the talk, what they do, and and this is even difficult and to see this communication issues in Brazil. I mean, Brazil and Mexico, these are the most Latin American countries I'm aware of, but even you have inside the countries also differences. No, I mean, you need to see that Mexico is like 10 European countries you can put in Mexico. So even I have experience from the north, I have experience from Mexico City. So even inside the countries, differences. I wouldn't say in Germany, like if you are in Hamburg or Munich, if this topic of punctuality, it's not different. So it's still, it's German culture. So there is not, oh, the people in Berlin are not on time. And no, not at all. So all in Germany have this triggered and learned. You need to learn that.
Absolutely. I can relate with you because I think Slovenians, we also are quite punctual and it's important to us, maybe a little less than Germans, if I can compare it. But I also experienced being in other cultures, how challenging it is to get adapted to different ways of working and their perception of time. So as you said, great. You have to, first be aware of it and then kind of slowly adapt. Rewire also how we were brought up. Great.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, I know that Oktoberfest and Christmas markets are also really important in Germany. And so if you can say what role does these traditions play in shaping German society?
Yeah, I mean, you need to know that the Oktoberfest, and a couple of people perhaps do not even know it, is most of the days are in September. So it goes to the first Sunday in October. So when you want to book a table in Munich, what you need to do in some of those tents 1 year before.
If you can just say for the audience that might not know Oktoberfest, what is it?
Yeah. So, I mean, Oktoberfest is something like traditional from Germany, but it's also an export. So you have a Oktoberfest in Sao Paulo, in Mexico City, in Sydney, in Melbourne, and in many other countries. So Oktoberfest is like a celebration. It's like, usually it's a beer festival. So you have a lot of providers of beer and they have a big tent with sometimes 3,000 or 4,000 people. So a huge tent where they usually eat like sausages in the morning. There are some white sausages which you can only eat for 2 or 3 hours. It's a specific process they have, so you need to eat them. You cannot say I eat them tomorrow or in the afternoon. So they are really fresh made. And people also eat here chicken, and then at the end they drink a beer. The beer is 1 liter, so 1 liter of beer. I mean, it's also very costly. I think now this 1 liter I think it is like 13, 14 euros. So it's like $14. So it is also very expensive. The Oktoberfest itself goes 2 weeks, and it has a tradition since 100. I'm not sure. I think 140, 150 years. So something like this, and it shows like Bavarian values. So I would say not Germans. I would say Bavarian. So you need to know that Bavaria always had. So the capital of Bavaria is Munich, and you need to see that that Bavaria always wants to feel special in Germany. Sometimes they even said, we are going out of Germany. So Bavaria is a state. It's the second biggest populated state. And you need to know that the second biggest Oktober festival is in Blumenau in Brazil. So there are some Brazilians that went to the south. It's in Santa Catarina. It's a state called, that they went there. And that they are also doing this traditional festival. So the people wear leather trousers. The women have a so-called dirndl. It's a specific style, and also how they make their hair with some knots and whatever. And the leather trouser could also be very expensive if you have ones like $600-800. But usually you wear it for 10, 20 years. So it's nothing just like you buy for one season. Currently, the dresses for the women are a little bit shorter. Usually they are over the knees. Sometimes they go now to the knees or even a little bit over the knees. And the women, they show at their dress if they are married or if they are single. So it depends on how they close the dress on the left or right. So it is like, I mean, I need to double check it. I don't know it exactly left or right, but you need to figure it out. And yeah, the thing is that October Festival starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, so people needs to be on time because at some time, in 1 or 2 hours later, they close the tent, so nobody can get access. So you need to be on time. People are drinking a lot, but usually people are friendly and dancing on the tables. And for sure, there are some traditional German songs, perhaps even some international songs, but people come from all over the world. Even from Australia, they have a tent where there are people from Australia, from United States. So you can even book it. You can see where are other citizens. No? So it's a huge event. In total, there are in the 2 weeks, there are 4 million people going there, to my knowledge, roughly like 4 million. And I don't know the amount of beer. Uh, it is a huge amount. And the women that serve in the Oktoberfest, they have sometimes 10 or 12 of this 1 liter, no, so 1 liter beer in one hand. So they go with 20, I don't know how they do it. It's a specific technique. And then they serve the people the beer. To be honest, there is not 1 liter inside. They made some statistic. It's only 0.7, 0.8, but anyhow, I mean, it is how it is. My father would have complained. It's not the full amount and the full price, but it is like, yeah, I mean, it is an event. People are happy, but you need to book before. What was the other question? So October Festival. Yeah.
And the Christmas markets, are they also very popular, right,
Yeah,
in Germany?
Yeah, let me tell you something about the Christmas market. No, the Christmas market as well. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Germany, and even the Christmas market, they extended. They extended till the 31st of December. So a couple of years ago, they closed before Christmas, but it's a huge event. And I can give you an example in my hometown in Düsseldorf. Every day, 50 buses comes from the Netherlands to the Christmas markets. So the city, my city, was full of people from Netherlands, from Dutch people. And it's like the Christmas market is like there are like small houses where they serve different kinds of food. I mean, sausages or even traditional German food. I mean, it's quite cold, so it could be 2 or 3 degrees. So you are drinking hot wine. So you can have a white wine or a red wine, but it is hot. And it is like hot because you drink it 10, 15 minutes and then you order the next one because it's very cold outside. And then people enjoy this time. So Germans go with the stress level down in December. So it opens on the 1st of November, and it was only till 3rd, whatever, of December, but now they extended it. And it's like that it starts the Christmas season, people take time. Even colleagues might go on this Christmas market to have a drink, but there are even rules. So you need to know when you have a Christmas party in your company, the people from the human resource give you how you need to behave yourself. So there are even some kind of an etiquette because, Germans are very formal, but when they drink alcohol, perhaps they might also get personal to people.
Can you give us an example what the HR says when you have a Christmas party?
I mean, not drinking too much, perhaps even to keep the distance. I mean, on the other side, you need to know that it is very traditional that Germans get their partner at work. I mean, even when you stay there most of your time. So I would say 60% get a marriage because of connecting with another colleague. It's also not forbidden, for sure not. There was a big problem when Walmart entered Germany and they said it's not allowed that there are couples there. I mean, for sure, you need to show not too many emotions there at work. I mean, because people then said, okay, they are biased or whatever. But for Christmas parties, it's always like they recommend you not to drink too much and perhaps even to go after 2 or 3 hours. So some people even drink nothing because it could be interpreted differently from the colleagues. So especially the leaders. So it is on the one side, they want you to be a little bit more relaxed. And on the other side, it's clear you don't drink too much with your colleagues. Otherwise, the big boss will say it's not good and you didn't behave well. Yeah, you need to be careful because people usually stay rational, even when they confront you with critique. But at those parties, sometimes it swept over and then it gets personal. And this is, it is shown as a weakness in Germany. It's not, in other countries, it's completely different. When you get emotional, even you can see Donald Trump is the president and he's always emotional. So in some countries, you can get the highest positions. But in Germany, it's like, it's a weakness. No? So when you got emotion, it's a weakness. And this you need to see. And other countries see it completely different. No? So because it shows that you are a human being and that you have emotions and that you are not okay with many things. And then even things are changing. In Brazil, the people are very emotional, but there is even an issue that they are very emotional, but they're not confronting. So they have the fist in the trouser and they don't say what they feel. But in Germany and the Netherlands, the people are confronting. When they drink, they confront others. And this is something which is perhaps not very good in some cases. No? So Germans tell when they don't like something, and when they drink, they are even more, they are offensive. They even get aggressive. Verbally aggressive, not from the body, but verbally aggressive. And this is what they don't want on these parties.
I understand. So we talked a little bit about Germans. You are punctual, then not showing emotion so much, very structured at work as well. Is there anything else you would add, in your opinion, to the characteristics that best describe Germans?
Yes, but when Germans are usually, I would say, 99% telling the truth. So when they don't want something, when they are honest. So when they don't like something, they tell it. So they're not hiding informations. They are not laughing in a situation which is not funny. So in the business world, usually you know what's going on. And you don't need to read body language because people speak it out explicitly. So you know when they have interest, when they don't have interest. And when there is nobody answering within 48 hours after a business deal, you know they have no interest. Now, I mean, this might change a bit in some circumstances because but the point is that Germans are a culture, you write emails, so you're not calling them usually. So they are, in this case, very formalized. So they don't take WhatsApp, but they are walk the talk. When they say, we deliver you something on Friday, they do it. If not, they communicate. So this is a good thing that you actually know what's happening. And many people said, yeah, it would be good if it is in my culture the same, or Mexicans don't reply, or you don't know what's going on, and perhaps they might have interest or not. But this is even different. I can tell you, I had an example in Brazil of providing a service, and they said, yeah, let's do it, and I'm interested, and I come back to you. I never have heard anything. And as a German, you would say, what's going on? You could even tell me, we need to think about it, or perhaps another time. But it was so obvious, it was so clear that he had interest, and then I connected, and no answer. And I had the right telephone number, I had the right email, and nothing. And this is funny to see that people tell you a story, and and you just, as a German, said, yeah, okay, I'm trusting it. So Germans trust very, very fast. But when trust is broken, they are skipping the relationship. No? So because it's wasted time. So Germans are like efficient, like whatever, they tell people what's going on. And this is a good thing. No? So you can plan with them. And you can even ask, and they give you direct feedback. They give you feedback. Yeah, the product is good, but you need to improve this and that. So at the end, Germans want to move forward with things on every level. If it is a private level, if it is at work, so they just want to achieve something. And when they feel that you are cheating them, they skip the relationship. And this is something you have not in many countries or cultures, that they are so direct and that you know what's going on.
Okay. Very direct, honest, and stick to the agreement.
Yeah, I mean, no, like this.
No, please continue if you had something to say.
No, I mean, the point is the trusting issues. No? So Germans go in a talk like, we want to trust each other, and then they find out after some time not, and then their trust is broken, and then they stop the activities. No? So I wouldn't say that Germans are going very biased into negotiations. I mean, for sure, they would say, yeah, I inform myself about how Brazilians are, how Mexicans are, but they give everybody the same chance till something is happening. They are not arriving on the meetings. They are not delivering the things they wanted to deliver. So this is that the trust goes down. So the Germans will check two situations. When there is no trust, they will skip the relationship. So you need to deliver what you say. So because this is where Germans will prove you. I mean, for sure, they also want to sell products, but at the end, it's something like more on, can I trust this person? And this is what Germans are checking. So you need to see that when you have an advertisement in the German television, they give you a they give you a price, and they give you a quality signal. So otherwise, the Germans will not buy. So the Germans are skeptical for sure, and this is what they will prove. So it's called uncertainty avoidance. So Germans will always prove other countries if they can trust them or not with 2 or 3 issues in the beginning. So when it starts not good, like people cancel a meeting or people not deliver what they promise, they will do after two times, they will skip the relationship. Or it is such an importance that they say, okay, we need to play the game, even if they don't feel comfortable. So Germans don't feel comfortable with, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't have informations. I don't have full informations. So this is something which is part of the German culture, is to plan, to not about to control, but to have more informations, to double check. It's like the double checking. No? So trust is good, but control is better. No? So this is like deeply in the German culture. And this is also related to negotiations and communication styles. And I would not say that this has changed over the last decades. No? So these are still the values. No? So, and the values are always transported by parents and also by teachers. No? So they are, and the president, and the German president has not the power, but just like always show what are our values. No? So they give how you need to behave, integrating migrants. So the German president always tells you when there is a move in the society and just like tells you what are our values. And this is like where people mostly follow it. But on the other side, you need to see that Germany is a country that is dependent on migrants. And some migrants, they didn't know this. They didn't know this from the early days. So some of them, they are already 30 years. They did not have this punctuality, but they will get to know it when they enter into a company that this is not a good behavior. So Germans will tell you exactly how to behave. They will tell you, you cannot come with sport shoes. You need to be shaved, or they will let you know. So they will not like going around. They say, in this culture, you need to behave like this. You need to wear a suit with this color. So everything is very formalized. And also, how do you behave when you have a meeting with a foreigner, or when we want a deal? How do you make the phone call? So everything is protocoled. So in Germany, it's like when you are not there at the day at work, you have another one who knows exactly what's happening, because all is in emails. The communication is very transparent. Germany is like not, you have a good relationship with the suppliers. No, the company has a good relationship. So when you are not there, we can send another one and we can move on. So these personal relationships are not giving so much value, more like our service, our product. This speaks for the negotiation, because we know that people change jobs sometimes, no, and it's not always dependent on one person. And so this is relevant to see with the Germans. The Germans always will include more people when there is a negotiation. So it is not the case that one by one is only negotiating. You always have 2 or 3 Germans. For sure, one is the boss, but the other ones are also there to give their opinion. How does it work? How was it? What is your perception on the deal? So in most of the cases, the Germans try to have different people with different views, even from different departments, to say, how do I perceive the situation? So that not one person is too biased. No? So this is what is in deals, because they want this emotional parts out. No? So they want not people that say, great, they are going to buy. Now the other ones say, hey, be calm. It was a good meeting, but we need to look what is the next process. And also that more people get to know about it.
Okay, so business is done also quite rationally. There's no space for emotions, as you mentioned also before.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, For sure, in some countries, they go out, they have a dinner with the people. Now, in some so in Germany, you have like a business lunch or business dinner, but you also have an etiquette. So there is a catalog from the company how you behave in those meetings. So everything is formalized. We know also in Germany, some deals are not made in the office; they are made in the bar or in the restaurant. But at the end, they will tell how much money can you spend in the meeting, what is allowed to order, what drinks, what is already corruption. When the people said, yeah, we want to invite you for 2 bottles, this is like a code of conduct, because there were many problems there 20 years ago, even in Eastern Europe, of Germans. There was even an issue with prostitutes and whatever. So it was in a huge insurance company in Germany. And then many companies then like reacted on it, and they built like formalized what is allowed to take, what not, invited, whatever. So each company at a specific level, they have a book, and they want you to sign it, that you understand, oh, I cannot do this or that or that. So it is clear, organized. So what is allowed and what not. And otherwise, you need to indicate it.
You also mentioned corruption, and I just remember it's probably also not allowed to bring gifts as well over a certain amount. So only smaller gifts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could be already corruption.
Yeah, I mean, there's a catalog. So
Yeah.
can you get tickets for the FIFA World Cup? Or I don't know about getting a private trip to Dubai with your family. Or there is a specific catalog, what is allowed and what not. Or you need to indicate that. You need to say, hey, I got an offer. I want to make sure that I'm according to our rules. How should I behave? So you need to correspond to a specific department in order to double check. When you're not doing it, then you get massive problems. No? So even you can have a very high position in Germany, but you will get dramatic consequences. So you could even lose your job. So the values and the rules are higher than the individual people. So they will never make an exception that you said, you are the best salesperson and it's okay when you get invited and whatever. No, in Germany, not. They would replace you. They would fire you and would replace you, because this is a reason to do it, because you not follow the rules. So follow the rule is like there's a red traffic light and you stop even when there are no people there. In Mexico, nobody's doing it. My bus driver goes on the red light when there's nobody, said, why should I wait? In Germany, you wait even when there's nobody there. And this is like part of the German culture. Follow the rules.
And tell me, Jörg, you also worked with universities across 45 countries. So this is a lot of different cultures. What would you say are the most notable cultural differences you observed in education? Or what are the examples that first come to mind?
I think that in many cases, walk the talk is not, people do not care. People say something and not delivering. And it's a communication. It's I wouldn't blame any kind of country here, but I've heard a lot of stories, and in the beginning, the people are curious and the people are open-minded and the people want to be part of it. But when it comes in that they need to deliver, they're not delivering what they need to do. And this is disappointing, and from my perspective, and this is also for me a learning process. So I do not want to pick out, but especially African countries are not delivering. I skipped most of them. I've worked with Ghana, I've worked with Kenya, with Nigeria, Cameroon. All of them were not delivering.
You are talking now about certain collaborations between universities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're not doing what they promised.
Okay.
And also in Latin America, you also had this. I had this in Argentina. I had it in a couple of countries that they wanted to do, and I had it in Colombia. But for sure, also there are sometimes external factors. No? So when there are political changes in the country and they didn't know if they get money support or not. I mean, these are external factors, no? And what I see is that many of those universities, they also think they have their clients or their students under control, and they don't have the purse, they don't have the money. So many people believe that a global program is beneficial, but at the end it's like, who's going to pay for it? And this nobody has under control. So
yeah,
I don't have.
Jörg, it would be great if you, because now you're already mentioning, so also for our audience to know about it. Tell us about your global program and its mission, and who is it for?
Yeah, the global program is to connect business leaders worldwide. At the end, the program is focusing on global leaders having a global mindset, and it's about that people get aware of their cultural heritage, aware of their communication styles, and a little bit like going the next step in competence development, getting feedback. But it's usually, you cannot deliver a global leadership mindset in 12 weeks. What you can do is you can raise awareness, and the program was executed in 70 countries, participants from 70 or even more than 70 countries, from California till Australia and India, a lot of people, Indonesia, but also Africa and Europe, and North America, not so much, but more South America. The point is that we put people in multicultural teams. So there are 5 or 6 people in best cases from different countries, and they do multicultural teamwork. So they need to have a team leader, and the team leader needs to motivate people from different time zones and different cultures and try to get people engaged, what is very critical. But this program simulates the global business world, and people make the next move in competence development, competences that are relevant for business managers or senior executives or human resource leaders. So there are different kinds of programs where people get connected and people look for win-win situations. No? So people look like, so win-win is like a global mindset to look like, okay, how can we collaborate good together? We want a certificate and we are having teamwork, individual work. So how do we keep deadlines? How do we communicate? Everything is inside what people have actually in an international global environment. No? But the benefit is also that those people you never see in person, perhaps online, digital, perhaps some of them might have met already face to face. But the point is that you get a feedback. So people inside your team gives everybody a feedback, even on the elected team leader. So the point is that these are not your direct colleagues that said, everything is fine and great. But people even say, I saw you in the 12 weeks like this or that. You would say some people are giving direct critiques, some indirect. At the end, it's also a program where people connect after the program. No? So people get friends, people connect, people are happy to see each other. And at the end, what we also do is we have a learning platform where we can also, when the participants want that, to give some international job announcements. So it's about to connect, to have people from different industry experiences, leading different amount of people, even people that have already multicultural experience. So it's about sharing experiences, and even people might talk privately about some specific issues. They have conflict at work, but our learning material, the content, is very practitioner oriented. So the learning is like that everybody makes the next move in competence development. So we have an individual learning, we have a team learning where the people needs to solve a case study, and where people give feedback, and also at the end you reflect yourself on how did you develop in the 12 weeks. So the whole program is there to make the next move. And what we also see is that people get more self-aware. So people that are said, usually I don't speak outside in front of other people, they do it. They couldn't do it in their home country before, but in a multicultural cohort, they said, my English skill is not as good as the others, but the others are also not good. So people get more connected, even in their home country, with other people after the program. So, and this is, everybody said that. So we have a lot of data, surveys, and what people actually learn after the program. So the learning outcome is like people apply for a job, people even made career jumps, people got promoted. And this is something what gives us the feeling back that it is worth to do the program. If it is always financially stable or not, it's not the point. But it's about to make better business leaders and to build a community. So and the community is growing and connecting, and this is a vivid program. So many people believe in it. I'm just like the front man, but I have a lot of support, and then people just like do and recommend it. And at the end, it is still not on the big flame, but it is just like that people are satisfied and or that people apply. So the material is very practitioner oriented. So people read something and said, hey, I reduced my conflicts at work. Hey, I'm not so stressed at work anymore. So this is when people work internationally, like I said, punctuality. So you need to be aware, this is typical German. I know it. But some other people, they didn't know it. And the people, and this is like, they get to use about their values. So what are the main values of different cultures? And they got confronted with it. But for sure, had some people dropped off. I would say these are like 2% of all the time. So some people said, hey, I don't want to work with that. And nobody's answering me. And in the beginning, it's quite normal. You don't know the people. You don't trust. Some people don't trust you. They have never seen you. But this is like, at the end, people get friends. And this is quite interesting. And I developed this program 3-4 years ago because I did some research. I did a book on this topic and said, hey, let's do a journey and invite universities to participate, or even companies. So now the focus is more on companies that gets that also want to enroll in the program. So it's about to make the next step, and even to connect and to have people from other countries that could say, hey, I have a German colleague, but can I ask you a question because you're German? I said, yeah, okay. So the benefit is like with so many cultures or countries, and many people have different from India, you can say, hey, I have a person to talk with. I can double check what's happening here right now. So the question marks will reduce now after these years, because we have ambassadors from 35, 40 countries. They are trying to promote this program when they have time. So they are not employees that get paid, but they are like promoters. So they get perhaps 1%, but like everybody's doing it. And at the end, even we had people, I would like to expand my business there. Yeah, we have a person. The benefit is that people reduce their stress, that people reduce risk because they got more information, they got local information. Now, for sure, not everybody is a business leader in the country, because we also had students. But at the end, the people have more information. Now, when I ask a Mexican, they would say, yeah, these are the official rules, but you need to go like there. And this is what you have. You have a local person who can connect you with others. And this is the benefit of the program. And this is like where everybody said, or even you, Tjasa from Slovenia, when somebody said, I would like to know more about Maribor or any kind of city, and is it good to invest there, or what industries are there? And you would say, yeah, okay, I can ask somebody, perhaps a place in the north of Maribor is better. I don't know, but this is what we can provide, and people are happy about it.
Yeah, Jörg, this is absolutely fantastic. Connecting people from around the globe, giving them more awareness on cross-cultural collaboration, and also fostering collaboration between them. And as you mentioned, giving real-life insights from different countries, which is absolutely fantastic. And the program is called Global Leader. It's under the umbrella of Global Leaders Center for Global Education, right?
Yeah. Global G Mindset Center for Global Education. This is a company, yes. So at the end, it's like.
Okay, so that we know where people can find you also.
Yeah. The homepage is gmindset.com, gmindset.com. And there is provided an email where they can reach me or reach my assistances. And we have now a program in Spanish, perhaps not for everybody, Spanish and Portuguese, starting on the 8th of March. It's like a LATAM program. So we want to connect the Latin America, but we will also, for sure, will have another business manager program in English. I'm not sure about when, but I guess something around October. Once a year, people will connect with others. They even make business with each other. We had also these cases. They make a career move, and at the end, they have a community with open arms and with curiosity and openness. So everybody who's there or did the program can also apply, and hopefully they also make an international career. No? So I mean, this is my vision is like to educate those leaders, and also to be on being trustful, being respectful to others, diversity. If people are black or white, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, we had people from all over the world, even Chinese people were there Friday evening in live sessions starting at 10:30 Chinese time at night. So, I mean, at the end, it's like that people have, I think that people are looking for something, and I think that people just like find the people they look for in this program, because they always feel it's not enough to be in my home country. I mean, we have some countries where we have more foreigners, or migrants, like in Germany, but I know in Bolivia, some others, or you only have locals, even in Mexico. I mean, not in Mexico City for sure not, but I was the only foreigner at my universities in the north of Mexico, and you are close to the United States. There were no people from US. The point is that people are looking from Peru. They are looking from Ghana. I mean, they only know people around them. They don't know many foreigners or whatever. No? So, and this is like where people look in the internet. For sure, people also would like to meet face to face. Perhaps we are also trying to do a physical 1 week course, hopefully in Cancun, but I'm preparing it, or in Germany. I mean, for many people, it's not enough only to see each other online, but also digitally, but also to meet. And this is what a couple of, even inside the country, said, oh, from Germany, I met 3 or 4 participants. I know that, and I also know it from other countries. I mean, sometimes it depends on the how far they are away. No? But in many countries, they are not so huge like Mexico that you said I can meet people, but it's possible.
Fantastic, Jörg. And I've also been a participant in one of your programs, and I even joined a little bit later. But as you said, I immediately also felt that I'm accepted, that I was a part of the team, and it was absolutely educational. And also it was so great to connect with people from all around the globe. And yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. I just have one more question, which is, if you could imagine a better world to live in, what would that look like for people globally?
I would say it is a matter on communication and understanding each other. I think when people are sometimes more open or more honest, many conflicts could be solved. No? So I think that many people are hiding informations, or people are jealous about others. I think the jealousy is also there. I mean, for sure. But sometimes it's also the respect. No? So I can be jealous about other people, why they made a career, but I don't see what efforts they put inside. So the world itself is not fair. I can tell you what I did with so many countries. I can even see with my own experiences of trying to make deals. The world is not fair. I can tell it to you. And this is my experience. But on the other side, it doesn't affect that I need to change myself. I'm open-minded, I'm honest, I want to build trust. This is my personality, and I don't give it up, even if I get hurt. But this is like where we have our own, what you say, vision or whatever. So I try to educate people all over the world, because I always connected people when I was young. I always had friends from different countries when I was young. I was grown up in a multicultural environment, and it was very helpful for me. And this is why I'm doing the program. So at the end, I was in the kindergarten with different people. I mean, migrations in Germany, like Turkish, Poland, Yugoslavia, whatever, South Korea, everything was, so my whole education from my early days was multicultural. And I wouldn't say that all of my friends are doing it, but for me, it's like enriching. For me, it's like, I don't want to eat a Wiener Schnitzel, or I don't want to eat German food every day. So for me, it's boring. But for other people, they love it, and they will never go outside their home country. But for me, it's like, okay, I know a little bit, and perhaps I can say, what is my favorite dish now? But I cannot say if it is my favorite dish in 5 years, because I didn't experience the world. So I know a little bit. I know perhaps 50 countries by visiting, but I also know that I didn't see 190 countries. So I know some parts of the world, but I don't know anything about many countries.
And Jörg, what a great mission you have, sharing your love globally and connecting people all around, and staying honest and transparent, and trusting the people till the end. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything that you shared today with us. It was an absolute pleasure, and all the very best to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The people can connect to me or to the group or LinkedIn, whatever. Perhaps you can share some more informations. I'm happy, and I'm happy to connect with more people here, or even from your listeners. And yeah, I mean, at the end, it's something like we all learn, we all go the next move. And I'm an educator, and I always like to see that other people make the next moves. If they earn more money than me, if they are more successful than me, it doesn't matter, because at the end, I'm happy to share my knowledge and also my experience. And we need to do what we love, and I do what I love. So, I mean, even if it is profitable or not, but at the end, we do something what we fulfill ourselves. And this is what I'm doing since a couple of years now.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much.